You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Live at 4. We have breaking news out of our nation's capital. Continuing the coverage you were just watching on CBS News, 2 National Guardsmen have been shot near the White House in Washington, D.C. A suspect is in custody and also wounded. The shooting happened just 2 blocks from the White House, and the area has been secured. President Trump and other senior officials have condemned the attack and called for accountability. We will provide updates as we get them. The other big story today, of course, it is an alert day for today and this Saturday. We got a cold wind blowing out there. Blaze Keller is here with the holiday forecast. Blaze?
That's right. Cold wind to say the least. Northwesterly winds still anywhere between 20 to 30, 35 miles per hour, topping those gusts upwards of 40, 45 at times earlier this afternoon. Wind advisory still in effect for anybody in the Brown there for about another 2 hours or so. Current wind gusts are going to be anywhere, as I mentioned, between 25 to 35 miles per hour. Still seeing some trying to get to that 40 mile per hour mark up there in Watoma. Monroe at 39, nearly 45 mile per hour wind gusts at this hour in Janesville. Winds are going to be dying down as we head further into the overnight, but it will still be a breezy one with those gusts about 20 to 30 miles per hour as we head overnight into your Thanksgiving. Now, Thanksgiving is looking to be quiet, but we will be tracking out some snow shower potential as we go into your day tomorrow. We are looking at mostly cloudy conditions, temperatures hanging out in those upper 20s to low 30s with some light flurries possible. And then we talk ahead and look ahead, I should say, to that next round of snow arriving on our holiday weekend. We are going to break down what we know, what we don't know, the best time to travel, and more coming up in the full forecast. All right, Blaze, we'll check back in just a little bit. Thank you. Well, millions are hitting the road as we speak as they head to see loved ones for Thanksgiving. And of course, that weather is throwing a wrench in some of the travel plans in parts of the Midwest. Jalen Banks joins us now in the studio with how the travel conditions are on the Beltline. Jalen?
Susan and Brady, another Thanksgiving, another record-breaking travel day, and trying to navigate the traffic and weather are many Wisconsinites. This Thanksgiving, AAA predicts nearly 82 million Americans will take to the roads ahead of the holiday to see family and friends, and that includes people who are driving 50 or more miles. Of that number, they predict just under 2 million Wisconsinites will be taking to the highways during this time.
It's up about 2% over last year, putting us at yet another record high. We've been breaking and resetting that record every year for the last 2 or 3 years, fully recovering from the pandemic downturn that we saw.
AAA also says the peak travel times for today are between 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. And that's right now. And with the snow and inclement weather headed to the region, AAA recommends adjusting travel plans back home. AAA again strongly recommends leaving earlier ahead of the weather for safety. And for those of you traveling, taking to the skies or taking to the roads, happy Thanksgiving and safe travels.
All right, Jalen, thank you so much. The Crystal Grand Music Theater in Wisconsin Dells is hosting a special event this weekend to support Heat for Heroes. It's a charity benefiting veterans in our area and around the state. The event will feature a performance by Chris Young and several unique fundraising efforts, including signed memorabilia auctions and deep ticket discounts. In addition to the charity auctions, the Crystal Grand is offering a Black Friday special, 60% off all tickets until Friday, and a buy one, get one free gift card promotion.
The fact that 95 cents of every dollar is directly given to veterans, not all charities are created equal, and it is really, really nice to know that most of the administration costs don't eat up the amount of money that we're actually giving back to charity. A great opportunity to help out the community with the Crystal Grand.
They'll be auctioning off a signed guitar from Taylor Swift, and all of the proceeds will go to charity. That should raise a lot of money. The Chris Young concert starts at 8, doors open at 7, and happy hour starts at 5.
The Goodman Community Center says this year's Thanksgiving basket drive shattered records with more food donated than ever before. Staff members say they reached their turkey goal earlier than any year in memory. Even with a few no-shows, the more than 4,000 families who signed up
will be fed this Thanksgiving. Every leftover item will go to their pantry, and those at the center say they are deeply grateful for the community's overwhelming support.
The River Food Pantry says the need for food help is reaching record levels for their organization. Yesterday, staff and volunteers served over 570 households in just 6 hours. A number that staff says is 25% higher than this time last year. More than 1,300 meals have been freshly prepared and distributed to the community.
All food pantries right now are seeing this unprecedented need. So I would really suggest if people want to help or get involved is to donate to their local food pantry. The other thing is food drives. In every piece of food that is donated matters. It counts. So we're happy for those, and as well as I know other food pantries are too, and then volunteer.
The River Food Pantry offers several programs, including curbside pickup, home delivery for those unable to visit, food lockers, and mobile meal distribution to 24 neighborhoods in the Madison area. They rely on about 300 volunteers every week to meet the demand that does not go away after the holidays.
Well, I think we can agree puppies and kittens are always cute. They're a day brightener, but what's not always cute is where they sometimes come from.
Armand Rahman has more on a new ordinance in Madison aimed at making sure that all pets in our city come from humane and reputable sources. Armand?
That's right, Susan and Brady. Madison Common Council passed an ordinance last night prohibiting pets to be sold in any retail store. However, they can collaborate with shelters, animal control facilities, or rescues. The ordinance passed 18-2 last night. Any retail pet store that violates this is subject to $1,000 for the first offense and $2,000 for the second, each animal counting for a separate violation. Right now, there are no pet stores in Madison who sell animals, and alders say that's why they put this forward.
It's purely preventative. There are currently no pet stores in Madison that are selling puppies and kittens. But we want to keep it that way. We don't want a Petland type store to open in Madison.
An amendment to include rabbits and guinea pigs among the animals that can't be sold failed, with alders looking at expanding the ordinance to include them in the near future. Now, hear why the Humane Society here in Dane County agrees this ordinance is a good step forward for not only pet safety, but also your owner's financial safety. Tonight at 5.
We will see you at 5, Armand. Thank you. Around 55 dogs are being cared for by the Greene County Humane Society after being rescued from neglect in Lafayette County. The sheriff's office discovered the dogs, some in severe neglect, with puppies still having their umbilical cords attached. The shelter is at capacity right now and urgently needs donations. If you can help, visit their Facebook page for more details. Well, next on Live at 4, we want to remind you Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is celebrating an early Thanksgiving with us. She's going to be answering your plant questions coming up. You can email them right now at tips@channel3000.com.
And it's not too late to take care of your car before the snow settles. We have a few simple tips to help maintain your car and make winter travel safer.
Plus, our senior Packers writer Jason Wilde talks to defensive end Micah Parsons about his near record-setting pace of sacks in NFL play. That's coming up.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
We know how this goes. As soon as the road temperatures drop below freezing, driving on Wisconsin roads becomes more dangerous.
Yeah, that wind doesn't help either. Makes things very slippery. But a few simple tips can provide more grip for your tires and keep your travel safer. Kyrie Johnson reports from Superior.
Everybody's always on the go nowadays, and we forget about the travel and everything until we're looking at our car ready to head out for a big holiday.
General manager at Autoways, Pete Popo, says it's been a common theme of the day for his crew in Superior. And with Thanksgiving being the most traveled holiday in the country, Popo says vehicle owners are now down to the wire for the winter tire maintenance checklist.
But are they properly inflated? You know, is the tread wear on there? good. Is it going to make it through the winter?
And if you don't have time to make it to an auto shop to get your tires checked, it's okay. You can do it right at home with a penny. Just stick it in the tread, and if you can see the top of Lincoln's head, you know it's time for new tires. And tires aren't the only car parts that need fine-tuning before winter. Joe Huning knows that personally. When he showed up at Autoways today, his radiator was leaking, and he needed a fast fix.
This was a kind of a last-minute found thing on the trip here, so I definitely try to prep my vehicles before I make the trek. That's for sure.
The Thanksgiving record for snow in Duluth is currently at 8.1 inches, and meteorologists are saying the next few days could rival that number. Auto shops emphasize that first snowfall of the season often results in a frantic influx of drivers. But their advice is simple.
Don't be in a hurry. You know, better to get there a little late than not get there at all, I guess.
That was Kyrie Johnson reporting. So some other tips include only flipping up your windshield wipers before an ice storm, and you can strain springs if you do it for every snow. Covering your side mirror with a plastic bag or a sock to prevent the frost, that's handy. And keep your gas tank at least half full, and that will prevent fuel lines from freezing, plus offer more weight for better traction.
That's like the Wisconsin survival guide. The weather, though, if you have loved ones who are hitting the road or if you're going yourself, the weather is a big story today. Some light snow has been blowing around, and boy, blowing is putting it mildly, Blaze.
Yeah, those winds out of the northwest, they have been breezy. We went from the 50s to the 30s, and we'll stay here pretty much through the next couple of days, to say the least. So we had to move in that cooler air, and that's all thanks to those breezy winds today. We're looking at a quieter, relatively speaking, Thanksgiving and Black Friday compared to what we saw today. Still cloudy on Thanksgiving, a few flurries here and there, not expecting much in the way of accumulation. But we look ahead to the weekend. We have an alert day for Saturday, as that's when we'll likely see another big system move through the Midwest. So holiday travel planner, I would say with the winds throughout the rest of today and into tonight, kind of moderate to okay. Again, we're not expecting heavy snow as we go overnight or even into Black Friday. But starting Friday night through Sunday, especially Saturday, that's when the winds will pick up. The heavier snow will fall, and all that is going to lead to very limited, I would say, good travel times. So if you do have to send folks home or you're going to be traveling, I would highly recommend either leaving late Friday night or staying till Sunday. This is our first system, the one that's bringing us the snow and the breezy conditions today. That moves on east, and a high pressure system moves on in. So we'll start to have less breezy conditions compared to what we saw today. Not as much chances for snow underneath mostly cloudy conditions. Again, a light snow shower or flurry will be possible Thanksgiving, but we say goodbye to the snow activity overnight into the start of Black Friday. Starting later Friday night through the weekend, this is when our next system moves on in. And this one is going to bring us the chance for accumulating snow, at least a couple of inches to say the least. As this moves in out of the plains and into the Midwest, it's really following a near optimal path for the most snow, or a better chance for higher snow accumulations here across southern Wisconsin. As we look ahead to Sunday morning, winds are coming off of Lake Michigan, which is not frozen. So that is more moisture that is going to be already added to a system packed with moisture that will lead to those possible higher snow totals by the time we go into later parts of Sunday. The green path is what it is taking, more or less. The blue is that optimal path that these Colorado lows should take to bring snow lovers all of that snow. The closer we can get to the Chicagoland area, the better we're going to have for those higher snow accumulations, and it is very close, if not directly passing over it. So because of that, the heavy snow and travel impacts, looking at moderate for anybody in the yellow, which would include most of Wisconsin, Illinois, Minnesota, Iowa, Indiana, and Michigan. Red is where we're expecting kind of the higher snow totals along with the stronger wind gusts. So that's where we're going to see those high impact to your travel and that heavy snow threat. This is from Friday night through Sunday afternoon. It is still too early to really hammer down those concrete snow totals. We're 1 to 3 days out. We're still looking at the states impacted. The path is going to change just a little bit. It's still going to stay in the Midwest, but it will move just a little bit between now and the weekend. So make sure that you are staying with News 3 Now. We will keep you updated because some of us could see anywhere between 3 to 6 inches, if not more, snow by the time we end this weekend going into next week. So there's a look at your 7 and 10 day forecast. If we get all that snow, it is going to be a cooler next week. 16 degrees for a high on Monday after we settle into those single digits Sunday night and Monday night.
Thank you, Blaze. Relatively new Packer Micah Parsons is putting up near record numbers for the green and gold when it comes to defense.
Our senior Packers writer Jason Wilde breaks down why the defensive end has such success.
Micah Parsons is clearly special. We know that not only because he has 10 sacks already this season, and he's only the second player in NFL history to get 10 sacks in each of his first 5 seasons. The other one's Reggie White, by the way, whose name is somewhere up here on the facade. On top of that, he also seems to have an extra gear late in games. Someone asked him this week, where does that come from? Micah Parsons broke down the percentages.
I would probably say God is 95. You know what I mean? Because, like, he designed me, you know what I mean? So he's probably about the other 95. And then I would say 2.5% is me, and then 2.5% is the mentality part, like how I'm built, you know? And, you know, and I feel like if you look at, like, all the great players, I listen to all of them speak. I speak of, like, Kobe, Jordan, the flu games, the Game 6 in '97 when he's like, I'm dog tired, like, you know, he's got 45 points and he comes up with that big stop and he ends the game. Like, there's a similarity in all greatness. And the more you try to find that greatness is the more you try to obtain it. You
can be 100% sure that Micah Parsons will be ready for the Thanksgiving matchup against the Detroit Lions at Ford Field tomorrow. We'll have full coverage leading into the game and of the game itself on our website, channel3000.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for the Packers newsletter, which delivers that coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jason. It's always nice when there's a game on. You can escape your family.
Exactly.
Well, coming up on Live at 4, the case against a federal judge in Wisconsin is heading to court. What we know about the upcoming trial of Milwaukee judge Hannah Dugan.
Plus, it's the time of year when many of us look forward to being with family at the Thanksgiving table. But what if you don't have a place to sit? We'll tell you how a local business is making the holiday a little easier when we come back.
Well, the numbers on Wall Street today, the Dow was up 314 points. The Nasdaq is also up 189. The S&P 500 picked up 46 points.
Well, so many of us look forward to Thanksgiving with our families, but it's an important thing to remember that not everyone has that reality. That's not the reality for a lot of people.
Yeah, and we're thinking about everyone who simply doesn't have a place to go. That's why for the 7th year in a row, Delta Beer Lab is showing kindness as always on tap. The Fitchburg business is hosting a free community Thanksgiving. This is a ticketed event, and they're telling us that all spots are spoken for, but the owner says there is still a way to join in. Okay, so Pio, you're used to filling up beer glasses here at your business, but you're also filling the community with kindness. This is the 7th annual community Thanksgiving meal, and it's all free for people. Why do you keep doing this?
It all started as a way to help people out when we've been helped in the past. So there are times in your life where you don't feel connected to your legal or birth family, or you have that crazy uncle, let's say, that you don't want to spend Thanksgiving with. And so in our past, there have been times where we needed to find another place to enjoy the holiday. And so when we created the Delta Thanksgiving 7 years ago, it was about creating an atmosphere where everybody was welcome and you could come whether you need this place, whether you want this place, if you don't have a warm meal available, or if you just don't want to cook. Like, the reason doesn't matter to us. as long as you want to spend Thanksgiving Day in community.
That's interesting, because we always talk about breaking bread with family or friends at a Thanksgiving table. Often people don't have a place to sit. So when they come here, do they find that community that maybe they don't have elsewhere?
Yeah, it's really amazing that, you know, some people come with a group of 8 and some people come all alone. But this room will be full. The warehouse behind me will be full, and there will be somebody to sit next to. There will be somebody to talk to.
What are you serving? What can people look forward to?
Oh, we've had the whole spread. We'll have turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing or dressing, whichever you call it. There will be squash casserole. There will be desserts. The whole spread.
How this works is people get a ticket, but even if you don't have a ticket, is there still a way to participate?
Yeah, we're open from 1 to 7 that day, and the meal is from 3 to 5. We ask everybody to show up at 3, and we do want people to register for a ticket if possible. There's only 150 spots available because that's the most that we can prepare. And we have a huge response already this year. So we ask anybody that has a ticket, if you can't make it, please cancel that so that somebody else can have the spot. But also, if there are no tickets available, people are welcome to come in, and if we have extra food, which we usually do, that it'll be available for them after we get through the whole crew.
Come hungry, come thirsty, you'll probably even make some new friends.
Yep, the food is free, the beer is not, and there is a lot of community to be had that day.
Oh, cheers. Isn't that great to see?
That is what Thanksgiving is all about.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Well, and P.O. says Delta couldn't do it alone. There are several area businesses working together to make this all happen. Go to Delta's Facebook page. There's a whole list of them. Delta is open tomorrow, like you said, from 1 to 7. And remember, even if you don't have a ticket, P.O. says show up after the meal and you have the chance to get some leftovers.
That is such a beautiful gesture.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful for the whole staff there. Way to go, Delta Beer Lab. Coming up on Live at 4, state lawmakers are working on legislation surrounding hemp and other THC products, the reason for this new push, and what's on the table for both sides.
Then we're learning more about the escape of a woman convicted in the Slenderman stabbing. Now what the state is calling for.
And our first warn weather team, they're working overtime, watching the weather and letting you know how it might affect your travel plans. Blaze has everything you need to know to have a safe holiday weekend.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Live at 4. I hope everyone's enjoying the bass tone of my voice today.
You're feeling fine, but...
Little winter crud right now. Yeah. I'm going to do a B. Arthur sound-alike contest.
I kind of like it. I'm kind of digging it a little bit. You look great. Happy early Thanksgiving, everyone. Hope you're getting ready to get your errands done. You went to the grocery store last night. Not a good decision.
Big mistake, but I made it through. It took a little while.
And hope everyone gets to their destination safely. Let's take a look outside today. Wow, it feels like January with the wind and the light snow blowing. It's good cooking weather, as I always say. The weather words for today, more impactful weather is ahead, so it's not just getting through Thanksgiving. Blaze is here, and he has all the information. You're looking ahead the next 7 days, aren't you?
That's right, yes, because it wouldn't be the holidays without something throwing a wrench in it, and that would be Mother Nature bringing another system as we head to the end of this holiday weekend. Until then, the winds are still going to be breezy. We still have that wind advisory here. It's about 4:30, so about a little less than an hour and a half. If you are going to be hitting the road this evening, the winds are going to be out of the northwest. So if you're heading north or south, you're going to be impacted by these winds. We are looking at still some pretty decent wind gusts, upwards of 45 miles per hour there in Janesville at this hour, 31 in Lone Rock, 32 Watertown, 30 in Camp Douglas. These will eventually die down as we head further into the evening and overnight hours, but they are still going to be gusting 20 to 25, maybe 30 miles per hour at times. We've said goodbye to most of the snow this afternoon. There is still a little bit out there, mainly off into parts of Jefferson County, northern parts of Walworth County, the heaviest snow off along 41 and closer to Lake Michigan. Then we look ahead to the weekend, really starting Friday night through Sunday. We are looking at another very sizable system to move through the Midwest. Right now, when we're looking at the heavy snow and travel impacts, those in the yellow, that's about a medium or moderate impact. Those in the red, we have the highest chance for the heavier snow as well as the more travel impacts heading back home or sending loved ones back at home. I wouldn't be surprised if we see widespread 3 to 6 inches, possibly higher accumulations across a lot of central and southern Wisconsin based on what we're seeing. We will go into more detail about this system because there's still some things that we're mulling over here in the First Warn Weather Office. So we'll talk about all of that and more coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, appreciate that. Thank you, Blaze. Well, Verona is liking this weather. It says the Parks and Urban Forestry crew there has been hard at work getting the school park ice rink ready for the season. The team is currently flooding the rink, so it will be all set to open the day after Thanksgiving. Verona Recreation will officially open the rink at 5 p.m. Friday evening with concessions and skate rentals available. It costs $2 for Verona residents, $5 for non-residents, and the rentals are $5 for residents and $10 for non-residents.
Right now in Wisconsin, vendors who sell intoxicating hemp products only operate under regulation from the USDA, meaning there is no state testing standard or age restrictions.
But Republican state lawmakers are looking to add regulation. Our Ellie LaLiberte shows us how it would work.
The Republican proposed bill would essentially treat hemp products as if they were alcohol, using a 3-tier distribution system.
So you'd have the manufacturer, then you'd have the wholesaler, and then on down to the retailer. So we think it makes sense to put everything in the 3-tier system.
Representative Rob Swearingen authored the nearly 200-page bill that looks to regulate hemp, a plant from the same family as marijuana. The legislation would also add a 21 and up age requirement and require testing, packing, and labeling standards. But it comes as the federal government passed a funding bill which included a THC cap, effectively banning most hemp products in a year.
I would argue that we should proceed with this bill if the federal government gets it together within the next year. By next November, then the state of Wisconsin would have a vehicle in place to right away transition into regulating.
The bill is available to be scheduled for a floor vote of the full assembly. Representative Swearingen hopes that will happen in January. Reporting at the state capitol, Ellie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
Ellie, thank you. Another Republican proposed bill looks to do what happened at the federal level here in Wisconsin by closing the 2018 Farm Bill loophole that allowed the hemp industry to take root in Wisconsin in the first place.
Wisconsin authorities are asking a state court to revoke the conditional release of the woman who in 2014 almost killed her 6th grade classmate in the name of the fictional horror villain Slenderman and escaped from a group home earlier this week. Yesterday, Morgan Geyser did not fight her extradition to Wisconsin in a Chicago court, giving Wisconsin authorities 30 days to pick Geyser up. Today, a Waukesha County circuit court judge agreed to seal the petition filed by the Department of Corrections to revoke Geyser's conditional release. If Geyser's conditional release is revoked, she could be sent back to the mental institution where she spent most of the past 8 years. She also could face new charges in connection to her escape.
The federal trial of Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan is set to begin December 11th. That's after a judge confirmed it will move forward despite earlier talk of a possible plea deal. Dugan is charged with obstruction and concealing an individual after prosecutors say she helped an undocumented man avoid federal agents who were outside of her courtroom last April. Her attorneys insist that she was acting within her judicial authority, and they maintain that she is innocent.
Small businesses across Wisconsin are preparing for a busy holiday season. You've heard of Black Friday, of course, but these businesses are getting ready for and celebrating Small Business Saturday. Local owners like Teresa and her daughter Lily say shopping local keeps dollars in the community and offers a personal experience you can't get at the big box stores. This weekend, Lily's Mercantile in Paoli will host a food drive, serve coffee and donuts, and offer a 20% discount store-wide as a thank you to loyal and new customers alike.
Whenever there's a silent auction or anything like that, small businesses are the first ones to stand up and donate to your silent auctions and your GoFundMes and such not. So it's really important to support small business because, yeah, we're a big part of the community.
Lily's Mercantile will be open from 10 to 5 on Friday and from 10 to 5 on Saturday. Well, next on Live at 4, Lisa Briggs with the Bruce Company is here to answer all of your plant questions.
There is still time. If you have a question for Lisa, you can email it to us at tips@channel3000.com.
And the sale of a beloved TV icon's painting is helping out the very network that brought him into the public light. Well, we're taking a live look at Beaver Bay, Minnesota. That kind of looks like the place of a romance novel, doesn't it?
Isn't that beautiful?
It is. The weather there is 26 and partly cloudy with a preview at some of the snow that we can expect this weekend. So fun fact, one of Beaver Bay's most historic residents was mail carrier John Beargrease, who delivered mail by canoe and dog sled. His legacy lives on with the annual John Beargrease dog sled race, which ends near this area.
Oh, I never knew the connection there.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. Well, we're taking your plant questions today. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Are you cooking or traveling?
We're
Both.
at my son's, so we're just traveling like a few blocks. But I'm cooking.
Yeah, don't you make everything from scratch?
Yes. But Andrew's doing the turkey, so that's off my plate.
Perfect.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
If you have a question, you can still email it at tips@channel3000.com. Let's get right to the questions.
Okay, so Sue and Buddy, they want to know, since being brought inside both of the hibiscus that they have continue to have beautiful blooms sitting on a southerly deck, in front of a southerly deck door, anything that they should or should not be done with them over the winter?
So if it starts to get kind of leggy, they might want to do a little cutting back of it, but the fact that it's still blooming and not dropping leaves is really good. Watch the watering, Sue and Buddy. A lot of times houseplants do not use as much water indoors in the winter. A lot of it depends on how warm you keep your house. And hold back on the fertilizing until we get to maybe the end of February or early March. And also no repotting during this time.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
Let's see, who is our next question? I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the person who asked this question, but this is a popular one now. Everybody's getting their Christmas trees.
It is the weekend for that.
Yep, they'd like to know if it's a good idea to add warm water to the Christmas tree stand.
Okay, so I don't know if this is, there are all sorts of tales about things that you should put into the Christmas tree water to make your Christmas tree lose fewer needles.
Okay.
And even though there is no scientific information behind it, I am one of those people that puts warm water in the Christmas tree stand.
You do?
I do. I don't. We actually boil a kettle of water and put it in there. Christmas trees, the sap is very resinous and it does harden pretty quickly. So you want to, the biggest thing is do not let the water dry out. In my head, it makes sense that warm water helps keep that sap softer and keeps it from hardening. But honestly, I don't know if it does any good. But you go and do it. I do it. I'd stay away from putting things like, soda and aspirin and that kind of stuff in there. If you have pets, they're going to drink the water, so you want to keep that from doing anything that's going to cause them any trouble. But go ahead, put the warm water in.
When in doubt, do whatever Lisa does.
If it's good enough for Lisa, the rest of us can follow suit.
The guys who buy the Christmas trees for us, they just think I'm hilarious, but it's okay. It's not hurting anything.
Well, Anne wants to know, when is the best time to repot an aloe plant?
So, like we talked earlier about Buddy's and Sue's hibiscus, it is not a good time to do replanting now. So if your aloe plant is in desperate need of repotting, like the soil is really hard, what you should do is just lift it out and maybe replace some of the soil, but don't repot until we get to, like I said, late February, early March.
Okay.
Unless it's an emergency and there's, the plant is really suffering. But if it's fine, leave it alone until the days start to get longer.
Okay.
Is what you're waiting for.
Melody would like to know, what are your thoughts on growing vegetables in an oxygen-rich greenhouse? That's interesting.
I have no thoughts about this.
Is that a special kind of greenhouse?
I don't know. There's oxygen there. It must be that there is oxygen pumped in there. This is really intriguing to me. So I would say if you would email the question to the plant desk, then I'll get it and we'll do a little bit of research. But this is not a topic that I know anything about, so I don't want to give you wrong information.
What is the email at the plant desk?
plantdesk@brucecompany.com.
Okay.
We'll
Yeah,
have to
pretty easy.
circle back the next time she's
Yeah,
here.
yeah, we can do that, and maybe I can get some information and figure out exactly what is happening and what effect it has on plants that you're growing in there.
And the Christmas trees are now available at the Bruce
Christmas
Company?
trees are available, greens are available, all the stuff is available. So come on in, including Christmas cactus and poinsettias.
Here we
and
go.
The glittery ones. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's Christmas.
It's time.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you,
Have a
guys.
great holiday.
You as well.
Speaking of, we're getting a little preview of some Christmas weather outside, and of course, it's during the Thanksgiving travel season, Blaze.
Yes, because why wouldn't it happen as it is Thanksgiving? We had some flurries today, some windy conditions, which will stick with us tonight. Thanksgiving, we're looking at mostly cloudy conditions, still breezy, not as windy as what we experienced today. There will be a few flurries here and there, but minimal accumulations, especially compared to this upcoming weekend. Starting Friday night through probably Sunday, late morning, early afternoon, we're going to be dealing with our next big system. So planning out Thanksgiving, it is going to be quiet, relatively speaking, mostly cloudy throughout most of the day, and we are looking at that chance for a light snow shower, or at the very least, a few flurries here and there with minimal accumulations. So if you do have to do some driving on Thanksgiving, you're just going to be running into the strong winds at times. Those winds die down Thursday night into Black Friday. So I would recommend doing some traveling either later Thursday night or holding off until Black Friday, because starting Friday night through at least Sunday, the first half of the day, I would not recommend doing any driving, especially Saturday and Saturday night. That is when it's looking to be, with this next system, the most impactful. This low pressure system is coming out of the south, so this is going to be packing a lot more moisture than, say, if it were coming out of the northwest. Even as we're jumping future track ahead to 4 in the afternoon on Saturday, winds are still out of the east-southeast, and they're coming off of Lake Michigan. So we're getting lake effect snow as well as just snow that is moisture rich compared to that dry, fluffy snow that we would see if this is coming out of the northwest. We're still pulling moisture off of Lake Michigan as we go into Sunday morning. So we're looking at a likely heavier snow event. It is still slightly too early to talk snow totals in any sort of certainty. If you're seeing posts on social media, I would still continue to look at those with a grain of salt. But this system is taking a near optimal path. The blue one there is what we would ultimately like this system to take, but it's following very closely to the path that these Colorado lows take that would bring us here across central and southern Wisconsin the best chance for those higher snow totals. We are still about 3 or so days out. We're still looking at which of the states in the Midwest, especially the Great Lakes region, are probably going to be most impacted. And because the path will kind of fluctuate or wobble a little bit north one day, a little bit south the next day, that's going to change who's going to see the highest snow totals. So from here on out, what I recommend is staying with News 3 Now and just looking at our updated forecast. We will give you those snow totals when we are confident, which probably will happen sometime later Thanksgiving, if not Black Friday. When we're about 48 hours out, the path isn't going to change a whole lot. We'll have a better idea of just what the snow is going to look like this weekend. And depending on how much snow we get this weekend, it's going to reinforce that cold that will stay with us as we head into next week. So we have an alert day for mainly Saturday. Stay with News 3 Now. We will keep you updated throughout Thanksgiving and Black Friday.
Blaze, thank you. When we come back, a painting from Bob Ross is helping keep PBS funded. We'll tell you how much the charity effort raised for the network.
We're learning more about how 3 judge panels on the Wisconsin Supreme Court and how they can decide the fate of the state's congressional maps. Thanks for watching Live at 4 today. I hope everyone has a safe holiday weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday. You can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.